for you. So today we're talking about you. We're talking about what you have dreamt of doing, what you goals that you've set and you haven't achieved them yet. We are entering, well, we're already in fourth quarter. We're entering the end of the year. So what does this mean? This means if you're in health and wellness, and that's what most of you are, that first of all, you have the shopping season, the holiday season coming up. Everybody's focused on food for Thanksgiving, and then they're focused on gifts for their loved ones and all of that. And then you have New Year's resolutions. So, for the health and wellness industry, this is a big buying time. And I don't think I said enough about the New Year's resolutions. Every year, every single year, the top goal that you see listed across the country, probably internationally, is improving your health. Whether it's losing weight, getting fit, eating better, or reducing stress. Those are, I just listed probably the top five goals that will be, there for 2024. That means people are looking to invest in themselves to improve themselves, and often around health and wellness. The next top one is business. So, this time now is when you need to be working on your launches. This time now is when you need to be working on scaling your business, growing new offerings, offering a new course, getting real clear on your niche and maybe expanding to a new niche if now's the right time to do that, like scaling. New marketing tactics, adding new ways to reach people. This is the time because you have an opening and it's a big one. November, December, January are your big sales months. This is the time to get your stuff up there and launch. This is the time to get marketing and get your brand out there so people come back to you at New Year's resolutions. So I have two questions. If not now, then when? When are you going to do this? Are you going to say, oh, I'm going to launch my new course, my new offering, I'll launch my new business. I'm going to put it off to tomorrow, to next week. So when does that tomorrow, that next week, that turns into next thing before you blink, it's a month, it's a quarter. That quarter turns into a year. That year turns into 2 years, turns into 5 years, turns into a decade. And you look back and you look at how much time you've wasted, what you could have done, even if they were small steps inching you closer. Because here's the thing, I've heard Dean and Tony say this, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. They've said it a lot of times, and it is true because I've lived it. You set goals for yourself for a week or a month or a year, you know, that are beyond what you can reach. You overestimate what you can do in a year, but you underestimate what you do in 3 years, what you do in 5 years. A year and a half ago, I had a client that I was basically his employee. I was working 20 to 30 hours a week for this person. And he was not my ideal client. In fact, I was miserable. And he was draining me. And that was a year and a half ago. And a year and a half ago, I decided, I talked to my husband and I said, I know we need this extra income, but I can't work for this person anymore. They're draining me emotionally, physically, energy, everything. And I know I can launch my coaching business. I am so close. If I had the energy I wasn't losing on this person, I could launch my coaching program. So that weekend, I decided to turn in my resignation for that with that not ideal client. So I called his office on Monday, said, hey, I need a scheduled time with him. Oh, he's available Tuesday at 1. I said, okay, put me on his calendar for Tuesday at 1. So I looked at my calendar Tuesday morning. I'm like, wow, this is a busy day. I have a sales call in the morning. I have that I'm resigning at 1, and then I have my call with my business coach at 2. So I got on the sales call. Now I had not had a coaching client, a high ticket coaching client as of yet at that point, a year and a half ago. I think maybe it was longer ago, but it was about that. Okay. My point is the time frame. Okay. That day, I signed my first client in which I made more than I made with that client, that not ideal client. So I think it was 11 o'clock, I had the sales call. I landed my first coaching client. At 1 o'clock, I resigned from that not ideal client. And 2 o'clock, I was able to tell my business coach about it, and we celebrated. Who happened to be Raf. If you know Raf from Project Next, he was my personal coach, my personal business coach. So my point is, I look at that time, a year and a half ago, I look at what I'm doing now, the stuff I am doing now wasn't on my goals list. I couldn't even imagine the stuff I'm doing today a year and a half ago. So I underestimated what I could do in a year and a half. You will be surprised if you take step by step. Maybe you don't hit your financial goal that first year, but you're growing and you're adding to what you're doing. And you look back a year later, or a year and a half later, 2 years later, 3 years later, and you are shocked, amazed at what you accomplished. It's exponential. So I'm going to quote somebody else. I already quoted Dean and Tony. I'm going to quote David Wolf. Back in 2003, it was a 2003-2004 New Year's Eve party. And he was teaching us about something with health related food. And I don't remember what he was talking about, but I remember this question. He said, when would now be a good time? When would now be a good time? And we all sat there very confused, like, because you're used to people saying, when would be a good time? But he threw now in there. Now would be a good time. There was one person in the group of 30 who jumped up and ran out of the room. And we were like, what are they doing? And David just smiled because she got what he's talking about. Whatever it was we were talking about, she ran to the kitchen, got herself a green drink, and came back. When would now be a good time? Now's a good time. I don't care if you work with me. I don't care. Well, I do. I would be honored to work with you. I would be honored to help you. But what I want you to do is take action. If not now, then when? Now, when would now be a good time? Now is the good time. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to take advantage of the end of the year. Get your marketing in gear. Launch that coaching program you wanted. Launch that course that you want. Launch that new marketing campaign that you want to, that workshop, that e commerce site, that website, that landing page. Whatever it is that you have been holding off, now is the right time. Now. So I hope you enjoyed this Motivation Technique Tuesday. If I can be of assistance, I'm here for you. Just reach out. Have an awesome Tuesday.